The Girl Scout murders have haunted Oklahomans for 45 years now, but investigators say newly done DNA testing by OSBI points to one killer.
Agents arrested Jean Leroy Hart.
The state's first two witnesses were former camp counselors.
For 2 days, we've gone over what happened to our child.
But still lacking, at least at mid-afternoon, was any hard evidence directly linking Hart to the scene of the crime.
It was 1977. 3 young campers, Lori Farmer, Michelle Gousset, and Denise Milner, were raped and murdered in Mays County. And even though a suspect was arrested and tried, he was also acquitted. And that has led to questions and wild conspiracy theories ever since.
It is day 2 and we are back in Oklahoma continuing the search for the possible car involved in these Girl Scout murder cases back in 1977. This was a huge case, horrible thing in the community, the whole state. It was, everybody remembers that, everybody locals we talked to around here, you know, these 3 Girl Scouts were murdered in the middle of the night, and they were found on the ground, assaulted and killed in the camp. You know, all these years later, there's been recent breakthroughs, there's been documentaries, and recently the man they believed was the killer, Jean Leroy Hart, they did DNA testing on him. Nowadays, you know, they were limited back in the day on the technology, and they couldn't prove him as the killer. Everybody kind of suspected that he was the only one, but there is evidence that suggests that there may have been other people involved. There may have been a car involved that was dumped in the river behind me. This is the Neosho River. So we got a tip from a private investigator about this, and we're out here to try to see if there was more suspects involved in this case. If there was a car involved. There may be evidence to these Girl Scout murders in this car, which was a 1970s Super Bee. This is kind of a crazy story. We were out yesterday searching, and we're going to continue today because we searched all up in here. We searched the Neosho River all up until these railroad track, this old bridge. But there's actually a section on the other side which we believe is the actual spot, and we got new information, so we're going to check that today and see if there's cars out here. I mean, if it does, this could be a huge break. This could bring more answers that they've never had. The family members, you know, of these girls are still alive. They're still wanting answers, and if we can help them out, we're going to do everything we can today. So yeah, we put in way before. We hadn't. This boat ramp's not usable, you're saying?
No, hell no. If you walk down there and look, it's caved in and destroyed.
I mean, you got 4-wheel drive on your truck, so I think we can just barely make it.
Oh yeah, I ain't worried about it. What's worse that could happen?
Oh yeah, somebody else did that, it looks like. Yeah, this boat, the water's really low. As you can see, I guess it'll come up all the way up to here. I mean, there's still an old, oh yeah, that's a big, it's a big hole. All right, well, we're gonna put the boat in, go over here around this opening, and behind here is the spot of interest. So let's go check it out.
Today we're going to be focusing on searching a particular section that branches off of this river. We're going to be using the drone to scan it and see if we can get over there, because that is where the car is believed to be. Now, we are going off this information that we received from the private investigators from the actual potential suspects that are still in prison. And, you know, over 50 years, a lot can change with someone's story, a lot can change with the environment and the terrain, but we are trying our best to see if any of these leads add up and we can actually find any evidence to this day. Now, if you haven't seen part 1 of our search, we went up and down the main river searching, and we found a couple newer vehicles that were unrelated, but today is kind of our last chance at trying to find evidence before we have to leave town. So we are going to get in the boat, take the drone up, and take a look at this section of the river.
Alright, so I'm flying the drone right now, and the area we were concerned is over here through this little opening, which looks like we can go in a little bit, but then the area, as you turn, you can see it's completely dried up over there where we were thinking, except for that pool of water mean, people have been doing donuts and stuff in it. Let's see. I mean, well, it might help us if the car is there. There's some tires and stuff out in it. There's a barrel over there.
Are you close enough to like fly it directly over it?
I'm over it right now.
Is it clear enough? Maybe you can spot a car with the drone.
I mean, there's logs. The water's so low. But people have driven back there, I mean, recently. There's something over there in the middle. Let's go look at that. Looks like maybe a boat or a rock.
I love doing it.
There's a boat over there.
A real boat?
No, like look on the camera, look on the drone. So there is a sunken. Oh! We just hit a.
I centered that shit.
We just hit a log.
There's no sink.
I'm gonna rock the boat.
Just lean that way.
Or is it a rock or a log, you think?
Gotta be a log. Alright, maybe the other way.
Dude, we're like right on it. Oh yeah, I can see another one right there you missed.
Just keep spinning. God, it must be right in the center.
I don't know what you want me to do, man. Just keep trying. We're currently stuck. You got like a paddle or something?
That would be a smart object to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's too shallow even over there to get in it. And I don't see anything that looks like a car, which I was kind of worried about. And people have been walking around back here. So yeah, based on that drone shot, there's nothing there. It's too dried up. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is there. It's just buried. Maybe it's in a different spot. I'm gonna have to call. There's a lot of tires over there, but there's stumps everywhere right here. It's dangerous. Well, how's it going? Nothing. But I flew the drone over and saw it was pretty drained over here.
The main river used to be out. I don't know if you've seen the bank where the bank was out there. So.
Yeah.
But when you go on up, there used to be a road that used to be the main road to come down and come across Spring Creek and then went up across the hill and then it paralleled the railroad track.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we called it Tank. It's just right over there. And that's the only other trestle down this area that I know of. You know.
When we just came out and scanned that, it was about 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
Deep enough.
Mm-hmm. They discontinued this old railroad track back in the 40s, the old one. So, you know, they took out most of those trestles down through there.
Yeah.
It was just a place to, you know, where, like you said, if it hung up on the bank or whatever, that would have been possible, you know, on one of them. This one, not so likely.
Yeah, I don't see
unless it come down all around and drove.
I mean, this is pretty much a straight shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we covered from here down to the big hollow. We found a Camaro over there between the first two. And I heard they pulled a bunch of cars out in that section. That's the last place they were seen, was Cooper's Bridge. Is it deep over by Cooper's Bridge?
Really deep. You can jump off there and people, there's motorcycles and all kinds.
Okay, so we could keep going up that farther over there.
Yeah, up the Spring Creek. I don't know that you could get a boat in on Cooper's Bridge. There's government land on both sides. You could talk to Cedar Crest.
Well, you can go from here, right?
Yeah, but you'll come right up to the base of the dam and then.
Oh yeah, that country club.
Yeah, Cedar Crest Country Club. Now they may let you put a boat in the boat, you know, the boat dock.
And there's a dam right there.
You might be surprised what all you find under Cooper's Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's, you know, if they wanted to get rid of it, they throwed it off there. It's probably 30, 40 feet deep there. Oh, dang. That's a good spot there. I mean, I do know of people diving in there and hitting bottom, though, and cutting beer bottles that they used to bust on the bridge, and they dive down and then they hit that. So,
well, I have
however deep you can dive.
Well, so they could have dumped a car there. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of the last place you think? Alright, so we just checked this whole area. Definitely too dried up over there. And we just met with the investigator and another local guy, and he gave us a tip. I mean, the next spot, the only other really spot that we can think of is this bridge area, which is a hangout spot. They said it's deep enough, and you could dump a car back in there, and it might make more sense because it's kind of, you know, more secluded.
Alright. I mean, we're here. Might as well look.
I mean, it's like a country club right next to it now. We might be able to use their boat ramp, but I guess we could drive over there and take a look at it first. All right, so we just made it up here over the bridge. And I think it's deep enough. I just don't know if a car could get here.
Dive, man. That's fucking clear.
Oh, it does look nice.
It's a fun place to dive.
All kinds of good.
This is the hangout.
Guns and motorcycles.
Dude, it's definitely clear.
It's really clear. This is actually going to be a fun dive, just for treasure. Man, if it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's super clear. I don't know how a car could get here unless it went in somewhere else.
70. Who knows what this place looks like? There might have been dirt roads all over the place, but
he's over at the other spot, that road that dead ends.
I thought he was here.
He was. I don't know. Gosh, it's so clear. This must be a different water.
Sounds like a spring or something. This is
Yeah.
Stupid clear. This would be playtime right now.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the.
And it's like shallow out there. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be it. I mean, it's definitely a hangout spot, but I just don't see a car being here. And it's shallow out in the middle there. All right, well, I think that might wrap up our day here. You know, we found those cars yesterday. We were searching these bridges, following up on some leads, and I just don't know, maybe somebody local knows some more spots that we're missing, but we're looking at the maps, looking at the areas, the ponds nearby. It's kind of a tough one, just being so old. But I think we did everything we could with the time we had, and we appreciate everybody watching us and supporting these searches. Sometimes it can be really long shots.
Going through our grief, there was a focus. And the focus was there will be justice for Lori and Michelle and Denise.
Gene Leroy Hart died in prison a little more than 2 months after being acquitted of the murders in 1979. He was in prison for another crime.
So, Reagan, a lot of people are going to wonder, does this finally mean this case is closed?
No. So here's the agreement. Nothing will be closed. No agency will be allowed to close this case until the sheriff's office, the families especially, the district attorney's office, and OSBI agents all have a meeting and come to a 100% unified decision whether to close the case officially or leave it open. If you close it, you know, there's a chance someone out there knows something. But the sheriff wants to express everything's been tested. They're by the best labs out there, by OSBI labs. There's no special DNA testing out there, advanced testing, that would give a different result. So they're confident in their conclusions.